Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all for tuning in again. So you guys, today I have 4 groups for you to choose from, so I want you to pick one of the 4 groups intuitively. Don't forget that if you feel drawn to 2 groups, tune into 2 readings to get your perfect mixture, because your personal reading may not be just one of the 4 groups today, because you know, things are always changing. So yeah, you guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, do not forget to thumbs it up. As usual, the timestamps will be down below, so right into that description box and fast forward to your personal reading. So yeah, you guys, let's get straight into the readings. Hi guys, and welcome to today's reading. So we have a group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. So I would like you to pick your group intuitively, so feel free to pause this video just to meditate on the cards in order for you to make the right choice for yourself. The timestamps will be down below, so once you've chosen your group, just fast forward to your specific timestamp. So I'm going to get straight into the readings with group number 1. Okay, so we have the black egg first up. So in the black egg, I can see that the person that you're going to marry is a very straightforward person. I see that this person is very clear at communicating, and they don't sort of like any small talk. They don't like meaningless stuff. They're very deep, and they like to talk about things that have like an importance for life. They're not really into just talking about little unimportant problems. They're a very like deep soul, and they want to have those conversations with you, and they want to have conversations that make sense, so to say. So that is something that the black egg instantly tells you that your spouse is going to have as an attribute to their character. Then we have the peacock. So one thing that the peacock tells me is that the person that you are going to marry is going to have something that makes them stand out. That can be physically, that can be, you know, mentally, in the way they speak, in the way they communicate and articulate themselves. But nevertheless, I see that they have something about them that is very graceful, that is very beautiful to other people, and also very attractive to other people. At the same time, I see that that makes them very mysterious. People aren't really sure if they're cocky or not. But I feel like the person that you're going to marry, just because they can seem cocky or because they look good or they're intellectually very attractive, I see that that often leads people to thinking that they're sort of cocky or arrogant, even though that is not true. And the black egg tells me that that is not true, because they are really into deep conversation. They are into talking about all the things that, you know, concerns life and the world, and they're not into small talk and meaningless encounters. So don't be fooled by the outer appearance of your spouse, even though, you know, a lot of people may think that they're cocky because of the work they do, the way they act, or the way they look. That is not who they truly are. They are truly a very caring, loving person. However, you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper to see that. Then we have the horse. So in the horse, I can see that the person that you're going to marry is a very intuitive person. I see that they go with their instincts, they go with their gut feeling, and they're very, how should I say, they're very fast to act, and they love freedom. So I feel like the person that you're going to marry is very freedom loving, and that can be a little bit difficult just because they easily feel sort of like captured. They easily feel like other people are being clingy, and that can drive them in the opposite direction. So if you feel like someone who you are speaking to right now, or someone who you're in a relationship of some sort right now, may be the person for life, make sure that you're not too clingy. Make sure that you give them sort of freedom still, just because if you do cling on too hard, that is something that makes, you know, this person sort of scared, and that is what makes this person run the other way. So make sure that you give the person the freedom that they need, intellectually and also just physically. That doesn't mean to be in an open relationship. However, you know, respect their boundaries, respect that this person likes time to themselves sometimes as well, and just give them the freedom of still having a little bit of their single life. So that is something that I see as important when you meet the person that you're going to marry. They're going to be very attractive, very beautiful in a sense, you know, and they're going to be very freedom loving. So in order to not scare them away, you want to make sure that they can still keep that freedom even whilst being in a relationship with you. Then we have the great gathering. So one thing that I see here is that you might meet the person that you're going to marry at a gathering of some sort that has meaning to you. So that could either be with close friends. So this could be a distant friend of one of your close friends that comes by when you're hanging out, and you know that's how you meet them. Or it could be at something meaningful like an event. It could be a concert, for instance, of a band that sort of has meaning to you. And why I say it's going to be like a meaningful gathering, I don't mean a gathering like in, for instance, a grocery store. That's not the kind of gathering I mean where you're going to meet the person that you will marry. The person that you will marry, you're going to meet them at a place that has some sort of connection with you. So like I said, it could be through music, it could be through mutual friends, it could also be through like distant family, you know, they're like a friend of the family, something like that. So that is where I see you meeting the person who you are going to marry. And then another thing that I see here is that in order to meet them, you're going to have to align your life with what you truly believe in, who you truly are, because I feel like right now your life may not be 100% in alignment with who you've become. So I feel like because you've been going through a lot of changes recently, I feel like in order to really open the space for this person to come into your life, I feel like you need to align all that you're saying with all that you're being. So if you've been talking this great talk, make sure you're also walking it. And make sure that you get rid of things that aren't in alignment with who you are, because this person is a very deep person. They like deep conversation, and they like people who make sense, people who, you know, practice what they preach. So in order to really find this person and in order to click with this person, you need to make sure that your life is in alignment with your beliefs. If not, you won't have the type of energy out there to truly attract them and, you know, to truly put the energy out there that you are ready for this person. So that is what I see for you, and that is how I see you meeting the person who you are going to marry, as well as who this person is going to be. All right, group number 2. We have the golden egg. So I can instantly see that the person who you're going to marry is going to be a very nurturing person. It's going to be a person who is basically going to treat you the way you've always wanted to be treated. They're going to charm you and sort of like knock the socks off your feet, so to say. And I see that it's important for them to sort of give you that feeling of being special. I feel like you've sort of been lacking that recently in your life or in your past relationships. I feel like you haven't been treated and made to feel as special as you feel you should, if you know what I mean. So that is great that you know your worth and you know that you haven't 100% gotten that feeling of feeling special and being made to feel special. And that is great that you know that you deserve to have that feeling, because I see that that is going to make you wait for this person who is going to treat you like a golden egg, so to say, who is going to nurture your relationship. And that person is going to give you a lot of warmth, a lot of love, and is going to make sure that you feel special and just appreciated at all times. So that is what I see coming for you. And I feel like why the golden egg is coming up in your reading in particular could be because you've sort of not been feeling the love from your past partners, or you've sort of felt like they haven't been putting in the effort that you deserve. So I see that the person that you are going to marry is going to have all of these traits, and it's just a matter of time for you to meet them. Then in the stingray, I see that the person who you're going to marry is not only going to treat you like gold, so to say, like a golden egg, you know, very gently, carefully, with a lot of love. I see that this person has a very strong backbone, a very strong spine. This person has their head on their shoulders, and I feel like this is exactly what you need. You need someone who treats you very gently and softly, but also just has their life together. I feel like maybe in your past relationships, the people who you've been with have just not really had direction, or not really had like a strong backbone, a strong spine, and you like someone who is confident. So I see the person that you're going to marry is going to be, you know, exceptionally strong in an emotional sense, and they're going to have leadership qualities, so to say. But you also need to be careful with this person because they are very stubborn, okay? this strong backbone also comes with a very sort of strong head. So there may be like some headbutting for you in the future, but overall I see that it's going to be amazing for you to be with someone who has this leadership potential and knows exactly what they want, which is you, and is going to go for that and really nurture and treat it with a lot of love and respect. Then we have the crocodile. So in the crocodile, I see that this person is a very patient person. So if you feel like this person may already be in your life, but you're not quite ready, then I see that they are going to wait, okay? I see in the crocodile that the person who you are going to marry is someone who is willing to wait for greatness, someone who doesn't make any hasty rush decisions, and also someone who has a lot of experience and knows exactly how to react and act in public. So I see that this person, aside from being patient, is also someone who is very instinctive. And when the moment is right, this person goes for what they want. So that can be in their job, that can be in their love life. So I see that with the person who you're going to marry, it's sort of going to be a little bit of a game, but they're going to come towards you. So I don't feel like you need to approach them. I definitely see that they're going to come towards you, as you know, they do have that backbone, they're a very strong person, and also they wait for the right moment to then go for what they want. Then in mirror, I see that in order for you to meet the person who you're going to marry, or in order for you to attract them, to make this relationship sort of marriage material, I see that it's important for you to sort of look into the mirror, to just really look at yourself and see what is triggering you and what has brought you to the point where maybe you've been sabotaging past relationships. You know, what triggers you to not get to this marriage point, because I feel like maybe there have been relationships in your life that have passed by and you sort of let them pass by, and you could have either self-sabotaged or you could have just let them pass by because it wasn't 100% what you wanted. So if that is, for instance, that the people in the past have not treated you with the love, respect that you feel you deserved, and you know, you definitely want to be that golden egg, so to say, in the next relationship, I see that you need to look at, you know, what is it that you want, and how can you make it very clear in early stages that you want to be made feel special, etc. I want you to really become clear whether you're putting that sort of energy out there or not. So that is what the mirror is telling me. The mirror is telling me that you need to reevaluate what sort of energy, what sort of vibrations you're putting out there. Are you putting out the right vibrations to attract this person that you know you want to marry, this person that you want to be with for life? Then we have just say yes. So I see that it's important for you to not let this pass by, because as I said, the person who you are going to marry is someone who is a go-getter. They wait patiently until they see the right moment and then they seize it. So when that person asks you out, when that person, you know, wants to be with you, I see that it's important for you to just say yes and not to hesitate, because I can see that you're someone who is very sort of careful with their emotions and their heart. So it's important for you to know that when the time is right, just say yes. And until then, don't limit yourself to this image of who you think you will marry. You know, I see that this person can come in different sort of disguises. They may come in different ways that you never expected them. So make sure that in the near future you agree to going on dates, you say yes a lot, and you're open to new sort of possibilities. Alright, group number 3. We have the owl. So I see that the person that you're going to marry is a very wise person. I see that they have a lot of experience. So this leads me to think that the person who you're going to marry, this person could be older than you. They could be significantly older than you. And but one thing is for sure, even if they're not older than you, they're good at what they do. They're wise, and they have sort of like this clairvoyance, okay? I feel like they can see a lot of things very clearly. They're very observant, and they're very realistic. So I feel like this person is not going to be a dreamer or a very artsy type of person. I feel like this person is maybe more of like the corporate vibe, if you know what I mean. This person is more, could be a little bit more conservative on the surface, because, you know, they are sort of authoritative and they do have this sort of, wisdom, this wise air about them. So that is what I see in the person who you're going to marry. Then we have the gazelle. So the person who you're going to marry is not only very wise and authoritative, I see that they also have a very sort of gentle side to them. They have a very delicate side, and that could be on the emotional level. So I see that to the outside world, they may portray this very wise, authoritative sort of aura, but I see that when you really get to know them, you will see that they're truly a very sensitive person, and that needs a lot of nurturing. So I see that the person who you are going to marry is going to need a lot of nurturing, a lot of love from you, and also for you to tackle things in a very gentle way. Another thing that I see is that they're very quick to learn, very quick to pick up new things, because wisdom alongside with the pace of the gazelle makes them very fast learners. So I see that this person is very intelligent as well, which is great, because I can see in the lizard that they're also very adaptable to any sort of situation. So this is really a great person to be with. The lizard tells me, especially while they do have like some conservative traits to them, and while they do have some things that maybe aren't so new age, I feel like at the same time they're very adaptable. They go with the times in many things, and also they're very reliable. So that is something that I see in the person who you're going to marry. Another thing that I see is that the person who you're going to marry is a very resilient person. So while life may be taking you through ups and downs, etc., you will never be worried about this person leaving you. You will never be worried about if their feelings are changing, so to say. I feel like they're a very sort of, once something is established, it's set in stone kind of person. And they're also willing to compromise. So that is something that I see, that they're willing to compromise, and they're willing to see your point. They're willing to see your view. And that is something that I see the owl giving them. Then we have the ever unfolding rose. So one thing that I see is that you're going to have to do a lot of digging with this person. I see that they're not closed off, but at the same time, there are just so many layers and so many different facets to them that it may take a long time for you to feel like you really know them, which means that it may take a long time for you to get married. So I feel like this person may already be in your life, maybe not, but either way, it's going to take a long time to truly get to know them to the point of marriage. So I want you to remember to just give this person time, as they are a very gentle soul. I see that while to the outside world they may be a little bit authoritative and they may seem like they know it all, really they just want to be taken care of, and they just want to be handled with care as well. So make sure that you give this person time and you don't rush anything, and you just let things unfold. You just let things naturally unfold. Make sure that you don't put any pressure on anything, and make sure that you keep them in their comfort zones, because I see that this is someone who, whenever they feel attacked or when they feel like there's some sort of danger coming, I feel like they are quick to disappear and quick to make an exit, as they feel like that person may be too pushy. So make sure that you're not pushy, and make sure that you let them slowly open themselves up to you at their own pace. Then one thing that I see that's important for you to do in order to be with the person who you're going to marry, or meet the person that you're going to marry, I see that it's important for you to break ancestral patterns. So I feel like if you have in the past always sort of chosen the bad boy, or always sort of chosen the same kind of person to be with, and it's never worked out, it's time to break that pattern. It's time to look out of your comfort zone. It's time to look out of your little safe spot. Consider other people, consider other types of people, other people on an emotional level. Don't always go for the same kind of person. The other thing that I see is that it's important for you to sort of let go of ancestral patterns as well. So if in the past, say in your family, there have been a lot of divorces, and you've been around a lot of toxic relationships, it's important for you to know that This doesn't need to be your relationship, and you can learn from what has gone on in your family and in their past. So if you feel like you've seen sort of family patterns that are destructive to marriages or relationships, make sure that you know that you rewrite your story. You're writing the story of your marriage, so make sure that you keep that in mind and that you keep that power. Okay, group number 4. Let's see who you're going to marry. So we have the Swan. So I see that this person is going to be a very sophisticated person. I see that this person is going to embody some sort of like elegant and just beautiful air about them that a lot of people may mistake as arrogance, but I see that they're a very creative person. So I see that either in their job or in their spare time, they really love doing something very creative, and they're really in tune with their emotions, and it shows. So that is what I instantly see in this person. Then we have the Shark. So I see that the person who you're going to marry, as I already said before, maybe someone who is pretty misunderstood by just like generally the general public, generally people around. I feel like people can easily jump to conclusions and see this person as sort of like intimidating. So I see that this person may be really good at what they do, so that may be the beauty that I see in the Swan, or they may be actually really attractive, and people see that as sort of like intimidating, and they are misunderstood. They have a hard time sort of communicating, so I want you to keep an eye out for that with the people who are in your life or the people who come into your life. Make sure that you listen closely. Make sure that you look at people's body language, because you don't want the person who you're intended to marry to somehow pass you by just because you're not understanding them properly. Then another thing that I see is that they're a little bit of a lonely wolf. So I see that this person is someone who likes to be by themselves, who is more of a loner. I see that this person in a social setting will not be the life of the party. So next time you go to sort of a social setting or you're at an event, that person who draws all the attention, who has all the eyes on them, so to say, that is not the person who you are going to marry. You should be looking around for the person who is more in the background, who is a little bit more withdrawn, and who likes to let other people be the center of attention. That is the person that I see you going to marry. So while they do have a presence and sort of an air of authority, they don't put themselves in that situation. That is just the attention that this person naturally gets. This person does not seek out attention. Then we have the Panther. So I can see that the person that you're going to marry is also a very brave person. So I feel like this person may have gone through a lot in their life. That is why they're sort of a loner. You know, the Panther emphasizes that again as well. They sort of like to rely on themselves. So I see that this person may have been hurt a lot in the past in their life, a lot deeper than most of us were, and they may have had a bit more of a difficult childhood as well, a bit more difficult than the usual person. And you know, for them to really flourish into the Swan, that took a lot out of them, and that made them very brave, and they can sort of just rely on themselves, which is something that they tend to do very often. So I want you to remember that, you know, just because this person is sort of like a lonely wolf and this person is not the life of the party and is not the most outgoing person ever, I want you to just always give the people in the background sort of like a chance. So I feel like if you've only been seeing people who are the life of the party and the people who put themselves out there a lot, I feel like you need to be looking at, you know, the sidelines, like who's standing there, who is this person who is a little bit more shy, a little bit more introverted. So that is who I see you marrying, and that is who I see you needing to look out for. But at the same time, they are feisty and they are brave. So then we have Dance. So I see that it's important for you to shift your vibration in order to meet this person. So if you have been sort of a bit conservative on meeting people and you feel like they need to make that step towards you and they need to contact you first, I feel like maybe you need to shift your vibration to loosen up a little bit and to sort of step away from that traditional outlook of them contacting you. So I feel like it's important for you to, you know, do things that you maybe usually wouldn't do to make it a little bit easier for this person to be near you and get to know you, because you know, they are a little bit shy, a little bit introverted. It's important for you to loosen up your vibration in order to make that connection with the person who you're going to marry, and in order to make it a little bit easier for them to approach you. So I see that, you know, it could be dancing, it could be painting, it could be singing, writing, whatever sort of shifts your vibration and loosens you up a little bit. Make sure that you focus on those things in your life right now. Then I see that you're overthinking things. So the universe is telling me that you're basically already doing most of what you can do to attract this person. You're already doing what you can do to be with the person who you're supposed to marry. So I see that it's important for you to just keep being yourself. I see that you do emphasize on being yourself. You're not trying to be anyone else, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, we all get filled with doubts, and so do you, and sometimes you feel like you need to somehow change the way you move, the way you talk, the way you act in order to find that person. But I see that it's important for you to continue facing your true north and continue being yourself, because if not, this person will not be able to find you. You know, if you're pretending to be someone else, or if you're changing little things about yourself that they may really love, it may be very hard for them to find you and to approach you, just because your vibration is not on the level that it usually is, or it's supposed to be, in order for you to connect like twin flames. So make sure that you're not too hard on yourself, and you know that you're already doing a lot of amazing things to attract this person into your life. I see that the most important thing for you is to just shift your vibration and just be a little bit more easygoing and just let things flow. So that is what I see between you and the person that you're going to marry. So yeah, you guys, that was it for today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe for future readings. And I wish you guys all a super productive, positive rest of your day.